So, I mean, just tell us a little bit about your business. I mean, just start with like the bare basics. I mean, how did you even get into SEO?
Yeah, so those that aren't familiar with SEO, it stands for search engine optimization. The abbreviated answer of what that is your goal is to have your website show up higher on search engines for words that you can monetize, but without paying for ads. So I got into it. My background was originally design. So me and my team, we still do a lot of design. We just do way more SEO. And what happened was, I mean, how far back do you want me to take this?
I
I
mean,
got
take it back to the roots, man.
so. When I was in high school, 20 something years ago, they didn't have WordPress, they didn't have Dreamweaver and they didn't have Shopify and these builder programs. And so I had to learn HTML by hand, but I tell you what, now that's like the best thing ever because when you use those programs, they don't know if the thing looks ugly. They just do whatever you tell it to do. So it's nice to go in there and manually override things. So I kind of picked up a little bit of HTML back then. And then when I went to college, there was a communications class and they said, hey, we're going to learn some HTML as well. And so I said, sweet, I know a little bit. Um, and what happened was that the teacher says, all right, we're going to build a website and it has to have A, B, and C, this criteria. And I got thinking, I'm going to spend a lot of freaking time on this project. And then at the end of the semester, they're just going to delete it off the school servers. So I thought, why don't I ask if I can buy a domain and keep it? And so I built up this car enthusiast website because, of course, I'm a young 20-something male. So, of course, I'm into cars. And so I built like this car hobby site where I'd showcase local cars that I would see. I'd be driving down, Main Street or whatever, and I'd see somebody else with a nice car, and I'd like wave them down. And surprisingly, the majority of people would pull over. And I'd keep these little sheets in my car, and I'd say, hey, I feature cars. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Can I take a couple pictures? And so I built like this little profile website for cars, and I ended up noticing that it was getting traffic. So then I said, okay, well, how do I make this better? And that's when I got more into design. And then after it continued to grow, I said, how do I monetize this? And that's when I got into marketing. And then I was the guy that did web designs on the side that I'm sure a lot of people know somebody or do that themselves. And then the point where I went all in was my day job was contributing about half my income, but it was taking up 80% of my time. And my side hustle was taking up 20% of my time, but providing 40-50% of my income. And so when I got to the point where I could cut off the day job, which would suck losing half your income, but still pay my bills and free up that time, that seemed like a pretty good calculated risk. And so that's when I made the jump, and freeing up that time, made that income back in 2 or 3 months. And the rest is history. I guess here we are 14 years later, got a team of 20 and worked with some of those clients that I touched on earlier.